I'm going to try to be first to the party to talk about the Type R because I can. And this is obviously the 23 Civic Type R. I'm not even gonna like beat around the bush. This car's perfect. I made it a video last year saying the IS 500 generally is perfect. That peak car, in other words. This is now peak car. Like compared to the compared to the outgoing gen, this is all we ever wanted. It was just clean design. I can still nitpick. It's my job to nitpick. Quickly, I'll just talk shit on the parking sensors or whatever you want to call them. One, I do not need parking sensors. I know how to park. Two, if you're gonna put them on there, put them in the black part. Hide them in the black trim, and I mean, obviously, if possible. They did it on the back here as well. On the rear bumper, it's right down the middle. They could have put it in the diffuser, but I suppose the diffuser is more likely to get damaged in a crash, so you have to protect electronics in it. But yep, this is I'm going to say like 320 horse. They're touting more than before, so I'll just throw a number out there. 320 in the US. This is like the best turbo 4-cylinder ever made. Like, sure, it doesn't put out the Mercedes M139 numbers in peak guys. This will be the fastest one version we'll see. But there will be a hybrid version of this engine. The next... Oh, I'm in the middle of a video. Well, tell me when it starts. I'm getting roped into a Rocket League game. The next gen will just be this engine, but hybridized. They'll have a hybridized front and rear axle. And the new Civic Hybrid is coming out, which is also almost peak car. The way Honda integrates their hybrid componentry is amazing, and hopefully we'll see more companies do it. I'd love to see it with a inline six, non-plug-in hybrid, just managed by the electronics. Manage the electricity for me. Don't make me manage the electricity. This car is so impressive. That I own currently a 2006 Acura TL with a 6-speed manual. So it's not a Type S. Those didn't exist in 06, but it's the peak version of the model year in 06. And it's in mint condition. It just broke 200,000, but I'm a second owner. It's driven like, by a pro. I'm literally a professional driver. And this is the perfect upgrade for me. So this car was built for me. I also own an EK Civic DX, as in the lowest spec model imaginable. It has non-power steering, which is amazing. I have only upgraded stock suspension, old stock suspension, retrofitted, and it has 290,000 miles, and it starts on command, but it has a transmission, a 5-speed from a 2000 model year EK with like 130,000 miles, maybe like 150 now. So this car's built for me. So I will be going to my local Honda dealer tomorrow and seeing if they'll take a deposit. That's my plan. But then I can make some content with it. Have it pay for itself. Make some content. I'll show you boys the Type R and how perfect it is. I mean, they're gonna have perfect torque steer control. They already have it on my car. My V6 powered 6-speed. It's the K20, guys. It's just an epic engine. It revs, the linearity, the integration of turbo and like the VTEC, the variable valve timing, and how it has 2 engines in one, essentially. This car will get 35 miles per gallon. In my use, I can almost guarantee I will break 35 miles per gallon because I sit at 72 with cruise control on anytime I'm on the freeway, without fail. I use cruise control like it's going out of style. So I'm first to the party. I got my Type R video out first, so thanks. I knew the embargo was dropping at this for weeks, so I've been waiting for it. If only it had a manual Parking brake. Oh, that's so heartbreaking. Um, just honestly, fuck the cup holders. The cup holder should always be in front of the shifter anyway, if it's possible. But that's a whole other story. There's room there for it too. Perfect shifter. The seats are perfect. The trim is perfect. It's this amazing cloth suede stuff. It's like, more clothy than Alcantara. Perfect steering wheel. Perfect dash. It's gonna have beautiful sight lines, as in blind spots won't exist in this car. Look at the climate control, just perfect. It's like a damn Audi, but probably actually like it is a higher quality product. Like there's really just no question this is a higher quality product than a RS3. I said it. I will own this car. I will probably sell. I probably won't sell either of my cars. I'll just be a Honda guy through and through. So I'll probably keep those cars, and I will buy this. And you guys gotta help me spread the word. I'll be one of the first to get this car. I swear to you. And I'll have all the Hondas. Obviously my Acura is just an Ohio-built and American Honda, which is, I would say, honestly one of the best companies ever. Honda American is so impressive. These are going to, as far as I know, these are going to be built, these Type Rs will be built in Ohio and Japan, and they will service each market. Because, of course, I hope Britain gets this car. I pray that Britain gets this car, and it'll be right-hand drive, of course. Of course, Japan gets the car, and so, yeah, that would make the most sense. Honda American will, are we ready? Honda American will export to left-hand drive markets, and Japan will hit right-hand drive markets. Makes sense to me. Look at this hood. They could have gone crazy. No, just a beautiful extractor. So you get air coming in. You get a vacuum effect, pulling air from behind. And obviously the intercooler, as well as the radiator for the engine coolant. I knew this is what it would look like. Obviously, this whole time it was not. They weren't hiding how simple they were making it with the teasers and whatnot. Triple exhaust. So, I mean, it just looks good. In this generation, I can appreciate things like that because the car's not fucking hideous. The old car was so ugly, it was painful to look at, especially knowing how competent the car is. The previous gen has a larger interior. This might have a bit more legroom, but it has technically a larger interior, the old model. It's just a monstrosity. Even when it's blacked out, there's just so many shut lines and everything. I'm a sucker for hating on shut lines, but this car did it so well. Look, the hatches shut line goes right into the window here. It'd be sick if it was a blacked out roof and they continued the glass to the front glass. It would look so nasty with floating pillars. I wish more companies did that. Floating pillars are so clean. And I'm not a huge fan of black mirrors. I just don't think it's necessary. I don't know. To each their own. I'm not totally against them. The wheels, amazing. I would love a set. So what they need to do, I'll round out the video with, just like the regular line of Civics, it would be really cool if there was Honda. I love the red logo. Civic, Type R, Sport, or Type R Touring. And just say Touring there, just like on other Honda products. Lose the rear wing. Of course, lose the windshield wiper. I mean, come on. I'm not driving this in the rain. Actually, I'll try this all the time. And then maybe silver wheels, maybe a size smaller. I'm guessing these are 20s like before. I'm guessing. They are Pilot Sport 4S. It's just one of the best tires. I've had 4Ss before. I have Pilot Sport for all seasons right now because I need the mileage. I need the longevity. Perfect wheels, perfect center cap, perfect brakes. My car currently, my Acura, has 13-inch Brembo brakes, and they're great. They're such good brakes, and it's funny because my family's had a lot of Honda American products, Acuras and the like, and the brakes on automatic versions suck, but the 6-speed manual came with an limited slip differential and Brembo brakes in my model year. And they're great. They're just so good. It's just a nice solid pedal. There's no fucking vibration and none of that sponginess where you put the brake pedal in and then it like reduces pressure at some point in the pedal, and it like sucks away from you almost. It's not, there's no hard, at least older Honda American products like my mom's MDX. Just terrible feel on the brakes. They performed fine, but it was really hard to be smooth. Perfect seats. I got a 10-minute video. That's a pretty good amount of time. Oh, and on the touring, because as you Brits know, and really Europe in general, you have the different Honda Civic that's hybrid only. And I saw some reviews of that. They snuck by me because, of course, they're not American reviewers. And there's a panoramic sunroof on the Civic hybrid, like whatever top spec model. It'd be so sick for the touring Type R to have a glass roof or a sizable sunroof. I'd also stoked on a tin top lightweight version. Carbon roof would have been just the business if they went with a carbon roof. If they had gone for, well, hopefully there'll be Type R versions, and they could throw on a carbon fiber hood but paint it. I don't want it contrasting. A carbon hood, that's like classic Civic upgrade anyway from import tuner days. And I don't know how I think their roof is bonded uniquely. I think it's probably impossible to just replace it relatively easy. So 10 out of 10. I mean, 10 out of 10. I don't even need to drive it. I just know it's a 10 out of 10 based on the cars I've driven and how good the last gen Civic is and the upgrades that I've read about. I don't even need to tell you. You know it's going to be better than the last one dynamically. Can you guys imagine? Like, I kind of want to get you just a little hyped about the possibility of the next gen, or even maybe something related to this model, having an electric motor on the rear axle. And that's it. So it's independent. It runs through software through the throttle, which is, of course, electronic anyway. Even with this car, it's electric throttle. So you can still have a 6-speed manual. Front powertrain is still the front powertrain, 300 horsepower. And then you have a little 100 horsepower, 130 torque, pound-feet, 100 little horsepower motor back there. And then the car does you press an EV mode and leave the shifter in neutral and just poodle around on the rear axle power. Battery in the central tunnel, just a little rectangle battery in the central tunnel, or under the rear seats, of course. Under the rear seats, you can fit a nice little fucking 5 kilowatt battery. Yeah, it's more heavy, higher weight, but in that sense, it would actually balance the weight distribution closer to 50-50. And you're still only talking maybe a 3,500 pound car at that point. And you throw the fucking carbon hood, 19-inch wheels, although obviously 20s are ubiquitous now. So it's fine. Their tires have come down in cost for 20-inch wheels, but I would not mind 19s. I just like the ability to rely on a sidewall. I have 17s right now with Michelin Pilot all season, Pilot Sport all season. And I've had 4Ss. I have my set of 4Ss in the garage still. I kept them. All right, guys. Well, that's all I got. Very fast cars here, and I will follow up on the perfect car made to date. Peak car, my friends. Like, this will be Porsche performance. Let me just make that clear. You can obviously decide which Porsche would be the most competitive with this. We're talking your 718 GTS. Obviously, 718 Cayman S, in a sense. No rear seats in that, of course. So you can really compare this in many ways, in my humble opinion, to a very base 911. What this will do in everyday driving and its breadth, such a weird word, of its capabilities is going to knock everyone's socks off. And we get to make them in the U.S. as far as I know. I mean, obviously, correct that if it's not true. But I think there'll be some of these coming out of Ohio, and I'm proud to be an American because of that. Because this is super impressive. Go Japan. You guys are brilliant. I love the interior. And I love that, it's crazy red seats, but when you're sitting in the car, all you see is black. Other than the Honda, the red stitching. Generally, you just see a little bit of seat. And I love that the carpet's in them. God, it's so cool. So, yeah, Honda, thank you. That's all we have to say is just thank you. Because this is just such a breath of fresh air. It's so impressive. Just so good. And I knew it would be. I've been waiting. I've already told the guys at the dealership like a month ago when I was getting my oil changed. I was like, get me on a list. Hit me on a list. And they're like, oh yeah, we have this Type R right here. It's like, 40,000 miles and like peeling vinyl wrap on half the car. It's so bad. Like, fuck y'all. I want a brand new 23 Type R in championship white. There's no questions asked. No, I can't do red. Here's the colors. Blue pearl, racing blue pearl, crystal black pearl. I mean, obviously this car would look sick in black. But I would do championship white. It's too iconic of a color. Should I comment? See if I... I'll just say peak car. Period. Here, that's meta for you guys. Very Fast Cars here, commenting on Car Scoops as Very Fast Cars about the Civic Type R being peak car. Signing off.